I think coupled with this kind of DPM, I mean, look, we already have 3.4k damage, guys, and the game has already started just since like 3 minutes, so it's really good. And you can see that the accuracy is also decent. The aiming time is the thing that's long, but once you're fully aimed, the accuracy is decent to hit those shots even at long ranges, and the gun is not going to miss. Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Once again we are continuing our A to Z World of Tanks series, where I play every single tier 10 tank on the tech tree and from the legacy vehicles. And today's tank is going to be the 121 Chinese tier 10 medium tank. Stay tuned. So let's straight head into the stats of the tank. Now the 121 is quite famous for being very underused and very useless tier 10 medium tank, and I think it's not even true. I think this tank is super underrated in tier 10. And why is it super underrated? Well, look at the DPM first of all. 3,800 DPM, ladies and gentlemen, with 440 alpha damage every 7 seconds. That's great. They're just really good. You can pretty much trade against any other tier 10 tank. You can eat mouses for breakfast, you can eat EVA-100s for breakfast. Hell, you can even eat the VZ55 for breakfast if he's on reload, and you can just shoot him down. You can give him 3 shots and he's already gonna be low HP. Now let's look at the stats more thoroughly. Now as you can see, the aiming time is quite significant. It's 234 with full bond equipment and all that. And that's not great, but the dispersion kind of makes up for that. The 0.3 is very accurate in my opinion for this kind of tank. Now the penetration values are 262 on the AP rounds, which are fairly okay for an AP round, but 1100 velocity meter per second, which is really good for sniping those fast tanks at longer ranges. Now you also have 340 heat shell, which is a little bit slower, but these 340 heat shells are just so good, and you'll see in the video when we're gonna play the 121 and make use of those lovely heat rounds. Now the dispersion values here I've already talked about, but the kind of extra dispersion you get while moving, tank traversing and the turret traverse is not even that bad. So I would say the gun handling is okay, it's acceptable. So yeah, 0.3 dispersion paired with that kind of penetration value and that kind of DPM is just absolutely amazing in my opinion. This tank is going to be about the gun mostly, and not about the armor. Now let's talk about the ammo capacity. 40 ammo. I think you will run out a lot with this because you're shooting so fast. There is 18,000 potential damage in the tank, which is quite a lot, but you'll be missing quite a few rounds because of the aiming time and dispersion, in case you're not fully aimed. Now mobility wise, we're talking 56 top speed kilometers per hour, which is fairly decent I would say. 22 reverse speed with the applied turbocharger tuning field modification, which is also very healthy for disengaging from combat. 17.32 power to weight ratio, that's okay. The terrain resistance is actually quite alright on this tank as well. You don't really struggle on any kind of terrain. I would say this tank is fairly mobile for what it is, and it's very important for this tank to be mobile because of the gun. You need to get this gun into a position fast and up close to the enemy because you're gonna be side gripping a lot, so you need to be having quite a good platform for mobility. Now the biggest weakness of the tank, and yes I know, the 5 degrees of gun depression. That's really tough to make work. This tank is not for the faint-hearted. It's quite hard to play in my opinion, and you're gonna be struggling a lot with that kind of gun depression. But on maps where you don't need gun depression, or places where you can make the 5 degrees of gun depression work, you're still gonna be alright because you have really good HP, 2050. The camo values are 30%, which is really good I think for a medium tank. 23% on the move, that's actually also good. But there's also an alternative build that you can put, by the way, and I'll get onto that in 1 second. Let's look at the field modifications real fast. Here you take the module durability increase for minus 20% dispersion on damage gun and minus 50% damaged ammo rack penalty. That's a no-brainer. Here once again you take improved sight for the aiming circle size. Again, a no-brainer. turbocharger tuning. Now here you can choose if you want to have extra reverse speed. I like to have extra reverse speed in case I'm fighting heavies at a close range and I'm trying to disengage after peeking to make a shot. That +2 reverse speed actually comes in very handy. You do lose some camo, 3%. As you can see, that's it's quite significant in the long run, but in the short run, I think this is going to be better. Quite ironically speaking. Now let's see the heavy gauge nozzles here. Sensitive optics. I wouldn't want to take any of them because I don't want to lose top forward speed for view range. And I also don't want to gain top forward speed at the loss of view range. So yeah, that's I wouldn't take any of these. Now reinforced support rolls, and now once again there is an alternative build to this tank. Now you can replace vents with HP. Let's do it on this slot right here. Let's replace vents with HP. Make this a rammer once again. And this way you can choose the survivability slot. And you can also take this one, which gives you suspension durability, aka track health. And now look at that. The track health goes above 500. That means that nobody in the game can track you with the first shot ever. Doesn't matter where they hit, doesn't matter if it's Jagdpanzer that hits you here, he is not going to track you. And that's really good for tanks like this. And also because you get a tremendous amount of health. You almost have 2.3k 3k HP with this, and you still retain the excellent statistics of the gun. You lose a little bit of dispersion and a little bit of reload, but you can play this kind of a 430U like pseudo heavy tank kind of tank. And let's talk about the armor fast. Well, you can see that the armor here is not the greatest. It's 135 on paper, but it's not that well angled, as you can see. Most of the time people are going to be panning through you through here. Lower plate is very shit. It's 130 from the front, it's 80mm altogether. You're gonna get panned most of the time here. Even if someone hits you like this with heat, they will penetrate. Now let's look at the armor of the turret. As you can see, once again it has gigantic cupolas on the right side. The left side cupola is a little bit stronger and less prominent than the one on the right. Let's actually go to Hybrid Live. I like this one a lot. And you can see that even with AP shells, you can penetrate it 84% of the time next to the gun on the cheeks, and that's really bad. But if you switch to heat, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is just 100% going to penetrate here, 99%. So the turret is not the best, but if you keep wiggling the turret, there's a chance that the enemy is going to miss your cheeks and they're going to hit these kind of parts of the tank, which is already going up to almost 8 to 700 millimeters of armor at the toughest places and 4 to 500 on the not so tough places. So yeah, talking about side scraping, you can side scrape with this tank. It's very easy to over angle, as you can see. They will already pan you here, but most of the time you want to peek like this kind of thing and turn the turret as well towards us a little bit. So you want to peek like this kind of angle, and this way your side is going to be protected because of an auto bounce angle. But against heat, people are still going to pan that most of the time. As you can see, it's only 80mm and heat shells. Unless they hit the tracks, they are going to go through your side armor. So let's see what this tank is truly capable of in randoms. Now we are playing on Sand River in an encounter battle. Fairly hard in the means of the enemy having a lot of cooldown tanks. The Kran, the 140, the 907 Kong, Emil2, 777, TNH, they can all go cooldown, and this is when once again the heat shells of this tank come in handy. 340 heat pen, that's really good, and you will probably just auto pen most of these guys if you aim those shells quite rightly. Now you will want to take a position, and this is what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to try to take a position here to see if I can shoot those enemy heavy tanks that have approached the other side of the dune here. And we spot the Kran, he bounces us, actually hits our gun with an APCR and breaks it instantly. Now an unlucky shot coming in for the Type 4 there. I'm checking for a pen here. And once again, there's only one RT, and this tank's armor, the turret armor, is going to allow it to stay cooldown. But as long as you are wiggling it and you don't stay still for long amounts of time, it is going to work. Now, those 140s and the 907 are picking up here, but I want to put a shot into them. Actually connects there, that's lovely. And those guys can just shoot our heavy tanks on the side, like this ST1, it doesn't really care that much that those guys are sitting there. But at this point I realize, oh, let's actually push up, because we have taken control of the left side here on the A line, and now I can push up and go hold down once again. As you can see, this tank is not easy to play, and I've already said this why. Because this tank, it's hard to find the kind of terrain for you. Look at the dune right in front of me. It's just enough to allow me to peek over and shoot those guys. And I'm trying to pen this turret here, which I actually can be 340 heat pen. But you can see that you need a kind of terrain knowledge for this tank to make it 100% work. And there's a nice snapshot going into the 777, and these guys now have to push back towards the A line, and I'm going to use that to give this guy one more shot into the back of his tank. Now we spot the Conk and the Convey on the base. I believe the Conqueror is AFK, but it's not going to stop me from putting 2 into him. Also, yeah, once again, look at the high rolls of this tank. 466, 436, 418, 417. There's a lot of some low rolls there, but this tank can roll all the way up to 550, and that's really, really good. I think coupled with this kind of DPM, I mean, look, we already have 3.4k damage, guys, and the game has already started just since like 3 minutes, so it's really good. And you can see that the accuracy is also decent. The aiming time is the thing that's long, but once you're fully aimed, the accuracy is decent to hit those shots, even at long ranges, and the gun is not going to miss. And can we finish the TNH right in the middle and right in the center of the reticle, the shell vent. And it's really good. Now I realize the T30 is alone already up to 4.5k damage here. Full HP, 5.5, enemy still has 9000 HP. They're capping, so I'm going to make this kill fast. And then I will have to drive towards the cap to reset the Moistion and the EBR. Now the Kunzepanzer is peeking there. I'm trying to carefully aim and not miss his tank there. Oh, he just G-baited us and went back a centimeter, which made us already miss. Now, can we put a shot into him right there? Yes, we can. Yeah, quite a lot of low rolls this game. Literally every second, sorry, every shot in this game was a low roll except one, I believe. But sometimes, of course, RNG's gotta have a word. And can we hit this guy once again? The accuracy shows, and we do connect on the Kunzepanzer. And we spot the mouse in the cap, and can we connect his lower plate? No, the shell misses though, but they still have a decent amount of HP, and I have to make my way towards the mouse and the Emil 2. Maybe I can even kill the EBR when I'm trying to cross towards the mouse, we'll see. But yeah, once again guys, I think the DPM and the alpha is what makes this tank good, and that's really, really complemented by the amount of pen it has. And once again, it's a tank that does not it's the kind of alpha damage and the kind of DPM that does not get completely negated by the lack of accuracy, because as you can see, the gun is fairly accurate. It's not a Leo 1, of course, it's not a Gorilla, it's not an STRV, but it's enough to make your shots hit 90% of the time with good aiming. As you can see, that was... You need to let the gun fully aim, and that's the key to this tank. So 2 things: you need to let the gun fully aim most of the time, and you also need to find those spots on the terrain where you can use your gun depression. Now the Emil 2 peeks us here, and he gives us a shot once again. He kills our gun, and I'm just going to make my way towards him because we have full HP, and let's pick him up. 427. Yeah, lots of unlucky low rolls this game actually, but that's not gonna matter because now we just finish him, and the 907 also dies, and up to 7k damage, 5 kills, decent amount of block damage, 2.4. And once again, it was a kind of game where the enemy had a lot of hold down tanks, or tanks that can go into hold down positions with their good armors. And let's actually speed this up a little bit and let's see if you can kill the FV there, right there. Aim, and we hit 6 kills, 7083 damage. 2.4k blocked. On to the second replay. So, in our second replay, and this is going to be a really annoying one. You guys are going to enjoy this, and you guys want to watch this until the very end, because it's going to be full of little annoying elements that are just really like making me have a headache now. As you can see, the is it's very bad. There's a lot of tier 10 tanks, a shit ton of mediums with good turret armor. But they have no RT, so that's good already. Now let's head our way towards the 1-2 line over here. And once again, the 1-2 line on Serene Coast is a position where you need to know how to use the gun depression. Now, the way you get gun depression values here, and the way you make the kind of tanks with bad gun depression work is you play on the outside here. Because as you can see, this is kind of flat, and there's a little hole, and on the other side there's also a little hole that you can drive into and be sort of full down E towards the enemy. Now, this is not going to matter in this case because, well, the enemy had to have all their medium tanks concentrated on the 8-9 line, which is very interesting if I say so, because we don't have an artillery piece and we could just basically play a whole down game on the 1-2, but apparently people don't want that. Now, this is the first annoying factor. Now, the second annoying factor is going to pop up very shortly now. As you can see that the mouse is going to be sitting in the open along with the 430U. And we spot the Manticore. I tried to give him a shot, but he went away. Now, you can see that I kind of can make my way towards the middle and have some sort of support because the STRV Leo 150M are behind me. Now, the first annoying part is this Manticore. He is going to be hungry for me the whole game, and you guys are going to see that, man. He was just so irritating, but I mean, that's what he has to do anyway, right? Okay, first shot into the mouse goes right in. Let's see if he can farm this guy right down 3000 HP right there, and that was, I flicked that because I didn't want to take a shot from him, but also was a little bit of RNG in there. We give him a second shot right there. Once again, yeah, this gun low rolls quite a lot, but it doesn't really matter because even if the gun low rolls quite a lot, it still has that alpha, you know. It's still not 390. It's going to be very good. 453 right there, and I'm just working him down right there. We already have 1.7k damage on this mouse. Can we shoot him again? Yes, we can. 2.1k damage. The Manticore comes for me again, and the third annoying thing is the Progetto. Look at that YOLO. Look at that brainless peak right there, and he just basically dies for that. Look, he just, that's it. He's dead for that, and he shot me twice. He went into a complete down position, but he dies for that, and it's just okay. 57 heavy peaks. We missed the first shot because once again, as I said, the dispersion values are not the greatest when you are not fully aimed, but we can put one shot into him, and the 140 is trying to make his way away, and he's aiming for us. He did not shoot there. He could have actually panned my upper plate quite easily here. It was kind of a mistake, and once again the Manticore peeks me like fully. That's a lucky bounce actually right there, because he could have killed me for that. I believe he was shooting AP, that's why he did not pen me. Now you can see that the enemy tanks are very boxed in on the 8-9 line, and we are going to try to break this kind of camp. And I see that the 430 falls back, and I can finish the 57 heavy right there. And the 140 is also dead to the 260, and now I see that the enemy tanks are pushing the 8-9 line sorta, and I'm checking for the 430U if you can see him. Once again, the gun depression values of this tank are quite horrible, so you need to peek all the way up, as you could see with the 57 heavy when we killed him. That the tank is not the easiest to play. It's certainly not an IS-7 or a VZ-55. Now, let's see, the 430U is kind of going to fall back. He turns his turret, we put one into him for 455, that's really good. Once again, you can see that when the alpha works and RNG doesn't negate you, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. And once again, a struggle with the gun depression. I'm missing half a degree to shoot his his cupola right there. But I just cannot get my gun right down, and I have to wait for him to actually drive into my crosshair in case I want to kill him, which actually does happen. And the 430 goes down, and now I'm going to try to make my way towards the 8-9 line deep from the K line, and you can see that the Force 155 is playing the STRV on the right side in K8 in the corner. Now that's very difficult to dig out because there are some positions on that side which are like kind of like a ledge thing, kind of thing, like a little balcony, and it's really hard to spot them because they have some bushes, they have like trees, and yeah, once again, as you could see, the 140 took 1.1k damage. That's an STRV shot and a force shot. And now we have to, basically no play that I can make here. If you look at the map, a little bit of game analysis here. If you look at the map, all the HP is in the corner here and in front of me. Now, if I go towards this side, I might lose on some damage because they might push this way. I lose some damage in that case. If I go towards the right side here and try to kill this, well, I will die because I'm a one-shot. And if I try to go all the way back, they once again might push back here and kill all these guys, and I will have no damage. So the best play to make here is just to wait right here, stay, and see what the enemy does. Because even if they want to go towards the 50M, you will have shots, and if they want to come back, you're going to be in the upper position. And once again, if you look around, it's very important when you play this tank. When you look around and you can see that you have some little bit of elevated positions, like even this kind of side of the hill right there. You can drive up there and you can shoot down, and that's how you make the gun depression a little bit more bearable without having to expose the entirety of your tank. Watch out for those little things. And now there's going to be a little waiting. I'm going to speed this up because frankly there's nothing happening here, and you guys are going to have to wait. There's a shot that goes into the 50B. That's, once again, it shows that the accuracy is not the worst. And those guys are just getting pushed kind of. It's kind of weird how the enemy is playing there. But nothing is going to happen here. And I'm trying to get a shot on the 907. And both the Leo and the E50M go down, which is not the greatest now. The 907 also goes down from the enemy team. And you can see that they're trying to push towards the STRV right there. And the STRV is going to go down, I believe, fairly shortly, as the 705A is going to finish. Now you can see the VZ is trying to probe for the Foch and the STRV in the corner. And the STRV does get spotted now. Can we put a shot into him? I am behind bushes, I have good camo, and let's aim for the cupola. Boom! 491, right through the cupola, accuracy. The pen and all the other stuff, the alpha damage comes into play right there, and do connect the shot into him. And now once again we have to be patient. And once again you can see how I'm using the terrain to my advantage and trying to make the gun depression work. And we're just waiting for the enemy to make a play. We have 7 minutes, we have less HP than them. It would be pointless to push and peek for anything now. Trying to get a shot on this AX, and I destroy the truck, so I have an easier kind of sight towards him. Now if he actually kills the 705A, we might be in a bit of pickle here, because the FE can go down and nobody's gonna spot their cross. Maybe our 140 will, but the STRV is seen pushing towards us a little bit now. Can I connect on him? I auto aim him so to see where he exactly is. He's below the ridge line a bit, but he is slowly coming up, and we do shoot him in the cupola, and I will see in a second if he actually hit. If we hit there and pent, he's going to be a one-shot for us. And now I'm trying to probe myself, because once again I mentioned that this tank has really good camouflage values, and you really want to make that work and use that to your advantage. Now the 260 gets a blind shot by the STRV. That is fairly obvious, and at this point I'm thinking, oh, I should probably go back, because if the Force 155 pushes, I'm going to be his first target, and I don't want that. I wanna get. Oh, you can see the STR is pushing. We put a shot into his lower plate right there. He dies. That he goes down, and this is the point where I have to be really careful, because the Foch is 100% going to push. Right? They have to reset the cap. 30 seconds on the clock. The 260 is a one shot. I'm gonna have to kill the Centurion AX first, and let's see if he can do that. No, he goes towards the left side. He needs to decap the base very fast. And let's see, the Foch has started pushing now. Where is the Foch? He is not pushing at the AX. Will probably go down towards the VZ. I spot the Foch. He's pushing now full. Get a shot into him, 441, and now just watch the DPM. He bounces us because I go down towards the hill right there. But watch the DPM right now, what we have here. This is going to be insane. 2 shots I put into the guy. 3 shots. Once again, 2 laurels, and can we finish him right there? And we do finish him, but once again, as you can see, our tank got connected. That was a really insane shot actually. Look at the 705A. He hit our lower plate like this, fully on the move. That's really insane. Anyway guys, we did 6.6k damage. It was a very irritating and annoying game, but once again you guys see that this tank, all these lengthier battles because of the DPM and the penetration values make it work. And once if you can make the kind of terrain work to your advantage and try to negate the bad effects of the lack of gun depression, this tank can and is really one of the most underrated tanks in World of Tanks at tier 10. Thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and the next tank on the list is going to be the 60 TP. Once again, I'm going to be continuing this series. I might post some other videos meanwhile, but I'm going to be continuing the A to Z series in World of Tanks, and the next tank we'll be playing is the 60 TP. Guys, write me in the comments which tank are you waiting for the most in the kind of A to Z series that I'm doing. Write me in the comments, and I would like to read a lot of tanks, and I might actually prepare some special kind of builds for those tanks, and we'll see. Thank you so much guys again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Also, check out twitch.tv/kajzoo. I'm streaming there every single day. Hope to see you there. Take care, and bye.